He was real complimentary of, and I'm sure you've gotten plenty of these questions about your grandfather. Can you talk a little bit about that and kind of how he's influenced your life?
My grandfather, he set the bar, and he only expects us to go above it. I mean, he's done so much in his life. I know he was a cop on the beat in Camden, New Jersey, and if you know anything about New Jersey, Camden is a pretty tough area. At the same time, he was getting his law degree, so or whatever it's called, JD, I believe, and he, had 6 kids. Him and my grandma raising them while doing all that, and I've definitely learned my whatever bit of professionalism I may have. I've definitely learned it from him and Coach Ferentz. So I guess they seem like they have a lot in common in that aspect. My grandfather, he has his own law firm, and he's really rags to riches type story. And being as old as he is, and he's still taking care of his business. That's very, very inspirational to his kids, his grandkids, and to hear him get excited about me because I'm playing football. Because he was very tough with academics. That really makes me feel like I'm doing something. And granddad, that's the definition of hard work now. That man right there, he makes sure he handles his.
Is that where you feel like that's maybe when you don't want to, you're tired from practice, you don't want to go to class, or you kind of don't want to do something? You think about that and kind of what he went through to get to where he's at, to push yourself?
Well, about a year and a half ago, my grandfather had surgery on his brain, and surgery's over, and they're wheeling him out to the recovery room right now. He sits up in the bed, he's like, he stutters like, he goes, doc, did the surgery go well? I said, Mr. Daniels, you need to be asleep. He said, did the surgery go well? And they tell him yes. He's like, good. Just lays down and goes to sleep. And I'm like, man, how does that happen? But I look at, that's the type of that's the type of stock I come from. So when things get tough, I think about that. I think of my granddad and what he's done, and it's definitely gets me going.
Before last year, I don't know how much before last year, you go in and there's guys on the defensive line that have been there, experienced, coming back. What was your approach to breaking through, to getting in there, to contributing?
Just working. Something's got to give sooner or later. You just keep cracking at something. Something will give, and eventually great things will happen.
In terms of, 3 guys of that line being drafted in the NFL last year, that leaves a lot of responsibility for you and Broderick now to take the baton.
Yeah, and you say Broderick and I'm assuming because we have the most experience.
Yeah.
But, the other guys we have, those guys have been around the program for
LeBron,
a while.
yeah.
So it's for them, it's their chance to step up to as leaders and whatnot. And, it should be exciting. I'm looking forward to seeing how things shake out. I really am.
How much did you know about Iowa before you came out here?
I didn't know much, but I will say that watching college football or, being an outsider, you think of Iowa, you think of hard-working, hard-nosed players. And I know that's something I definitely want to be part of.
What was the recruiting process like for you? It was kind of slow, right, in terms of maybe some of the big-name schools? And
it wasn't slow. It was non-existent. I'm serious. Villanova was my only offer, and they pulled away they pulled the scholarship away. And Coach Ferentz called me. I don't know. Coach Ferentz called me while I was out there, or no, before I went out there. So, I told them I'd agree to taking a visit. And at that point, while I was on my Villanova visit, they said that they didn't have a scholarship anymore and they would try to work something out. And so I decided to go to Iowa. Coach Ferentz said straight up, we want you and we feel you can help this team out, someday. So would you like to come out here? And I said, yeah.
Has that been motivation for you?
What? You mean the...
In terms of being so, lightly recruited and people saying, oh, he's too short, he's, whatever the knocks were on you, why people didn't offer you?
They didn't offer me because they didn't even know who I was. I didn't have any help getting recruited. To be able to be offered by Iowa and nobody else, Coach Ferentz specializes in finding those guys that nobody wanted or nobody knew existed, so he brings some guys that are already having a chip on their shoulder with his team. And I love being around people like that. It's nice to be around people with a similar mindset. So it was between my Matt Roberts, the man who made my highlight film, and I, not too much help with recruiting.